In Rocky Hill, Connecticut, there are two memorial baseball fields named after young men who left us too early. DiMauro Field at Elm Ridge Park, named after Ronald J. DiMauro, and Hoye Field at Mosher's School, named after James J. Hoye. Ron DiMauro, who passed away at the age of 23, was a Rocky Hill High School athlete who played basketball and baseball. He was a graduate of Rocky Hill High School and Boston College. The DiMauro Field at Elm Ridge Park was named in Ron's memory in 1967. James J. Hoye, who passed away at 14 years old, was a student at Rocky Hill Junior High School, a member of the Rocky Hill Little League and the Rocky Hill Babe Ruth League. In 1958, a baseball field located on Bailey Road was named after him, and this field was subsequently moved in the early 1960s to Mosher School. The following story is written and retold by Terry Hoye, Jimmy's older brother. It's about Jimmy and Ron, two friends, classmates, and one amazing 1955 Little League game. One amazing inning and one amazing memory that will last forever.
In the 1950s, the Rocky Hill Little League consisted of 4 sponsored teams. Sunnycrest, the largest farm in town with about 90 cows on Orchard Street. Connecticut Foundry, the demolished factory close to the ferry landing. St. Anthony, an Italian benevolent society, and the Rocky Hill Veterans Home sponsored the Cadets. My older brother Bill, my younger brother Jimmy, and I all played for the Cadets. Mr. John McKenna was the manager. Because of the sponsorship, many of the Cadets' games were played at the Veterans Home. During my last 2 years, we were terrible, winning a total of only 3 games. I cannot forget our worst loss to Foundry. As the catcher, I had to watch 38 runs cross home plate. But this made the next season more memorable. Since there were only 4 teams, the league made competition more interesting by dividing the season into halves. The team that won the first half would play the team winning the second half in a championship game. In 1955, the Cadets won the first half season. On the last game of the second half, the Cadets were tied with Sunnycrest for first place. If Sunnycrest won this final scheduled game, they would play the Cadets again for the season championship. If the Cadets won, they would be the champions with no need for a championship game. In the bottom of the last regular inning, Jimmy Hoye was the runner on third base. If he scored, the Cadets would be the season champions. If he didn't score, they would play extra innings. The Sunnycrest pitcher was Ron DiMauro. Ron came off the mound to take a throw from the catcher. As he turned to his left to walk back to the mound, Jimmy took off trying to steal home, sliding in safely under Ron's throw. The Cadets won the championship. Jimmy and Ron were friends and classmates in the first class of Rocky Hill High School, which started with only a freshman class in 1957. Neither boy lived much longer. Jimmy Hoye had been at home sick with the flu, but went into a coma and died 1 day later at St. Francis Hospital on the morning of November 3, 1957. He was 14 years old. Many years later, the doctor determined that Jimmy had died of Ray's syndrome, a fatal sickness not yet identified in 1957. A year or 2 later, the new Little League field at Mosher School was named James J. Hoye Memorial Field. Ron DiMauro, the Sunnycrest pitcher, became the senior class president of Rocky Hill High's first graduating class. Unfortunately, he died in an airplane crash in 1967 while a graduate student at Boston College. The new field at Elm Ridge Park was named after Ron. The two friends, classmates, and competitors are remembered by the field names. I remember them in that 1955 game.